All right, we're good.
Live.
We are live. Episode 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode 11, dang. Sweet.
It's feeling good. Coming around in the double digits thoroughly.
Getting some followers, some downloads, some stuff like that. Some legitimate feedback from organic human beings.
That's cool. Yeah, off air, Mike just gave me an Instagram lesson.
Yeah.
And, that's kind of neat.
I'm not an Instagram pro by any means, but it's definitely, I've had former pages and stuff that I've, just experimented with and totally sucked at. So, I don't know anything, but I know some things that don't work.
Ah, very good.
So, going off that and then trying some other things.
Well, that's how you learn, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think as long as we keep pumping out value, that's really all it boils down to, I think. As long as we're valuable to people, they'll want to listen, pump out, whatever, they'll start grabbing what we have to offer. So hopefully maybe a little bit of cash money.
Try what you hear and tell your friends to listen.
Yeah. Tell your friends, tell us stuff. Like if you listen to an episode, if it makes you feel something, tell us.
Give us some feedback, man. Yeah, definitely.
We can read it. We can have you on. We can talk. Anything.
Yeah, there's a whole futon right here for guests, bro.
Dang.
Everyone fits.
Yeah, I mean, it may as well be a therapy couch. It's comfortable.
It is super comfortable.
It's comfortable. It's a comforting place. Talk about all your stories.
That's what the place is for, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and today's blend, we're just going classic front porch.
Can't go wrong.
Front porch on the coffee press. It's cold here today, and
I picked up some of Silva Bridge's
you got the
Buckeye Buzz.
Oh, you got the Buckeye Buzz. I've never had the Buckeye.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Straightforward, very similar actually, but
very cool.
Nothing like the Snow Angel though.
Snow
Angel is just some next level stuff.
That's some good stuff, isn't it?
I got Brooke on that. She loves it. It's good stuff.
No, it's some serious. I don't know what's in it. I don't want to know.
Crack.
Yeah. You don't tell me.
Crack. Yeah, it's super good.
It's my weekend coffee, man. I'll make it last.
Yeah, for real.
But put some Irish butter in it.
The funny thing is, I had some Irish butter and then I ran out, and then you told me that, and I was like, fuck.
I'll do Irish butter and agave. That's good in anything, but in Snow Angel, it's nice.
It's next level. Yeah, Snow Angel is super good. I had Hugh Jackman has his coffee company.
I've heard about that. Yeah,
Laughing Man.
Yeah.
I have some.
Ooh.
I had at my parents actually some of the K cups. Pretty good.
Ooh, right on.
For what it is.
I'm personally against K cups. I don't do Keurig.
Not my favorite by any means.
Yeah.
But if it creates hot bean water.
I mean, hot bean water, if that's what you need, man, that's what you need. It's quick. It has little waste and clean up. It's easy to do.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, better than nothing for what it is.
Which was the choice if I didn't.
Well, I mean, my lifestyle allows me to be not just a coffee snob, but a coffee preparation snob. Because I'm mostly home. Mm-hmm. So I can put time into my AeroPresses and my coffee presses
go out back
and all that.
And start a nice fire and get the embers down.
I mean, that's actually going to happen here pretty soon. But I have an e-brick. I make Turkish coffee, and I can't heat that thing right to save my life. So I'm either going to get some sand and put it in a pot and heat it on my stove, or we're going out back.
Yeah.
When the weather gets warm, we're probably going to have a live episode of me making Turkish coffee in the embers.
Badass.
It's going to be cool. So today, talk about the motivation.
Motivation, yeah.
Yeah, and so I want to differentiate between inspiration and motivation, as being inspired doesn't necessarily lead to action. Like, sometimes I train and I put on a cool documentary to have on while I'm training because it inspires me, makes me feel good about myself. But does it make me train? Sometimes. I mean, I copy a lot of stuff. But motivation predicated on action. I'm motivated to do this, so I'm going to go do it in some way. So, yeah, that's as deep as I want to start, I guess. But,
I mean, fighting is as real as it gets. I mean, if you have to fight someone and you know that for 8 weeks from now that you're going to fight someone, you're going to do fucking everything you can to talk about motivation.
Or do too much. Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to do everything and anything you can to hope that you come out on top.
Yeah. And oddly enough, though, the people that do the best don't give a fuck about the fight. Mm-hmm. They're like, I'm just here.
Yeah.
I mean, the legends of BJ Penn just not ever doing anything and becoming the best fighter in the world. getting his black belt in like 3.5 years in jiu-jitsu or something, and just that
You
guy.
know.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
and then he started carrying and started kicking people's heads off.
Yeah.
I mean, we all remember the Diego Sanchez fight.
Yeah.
Holy crap, the one kick BJ Penn ever threw. The one head kick ever. And
Murder
did that to a
bullets
guy's
split
head?
his face.
Yeah.
It was a good fight, though.
That was a great fight. Yeah, I think I own that one. I'm trying to get that generation of DVDs down. I want all my favorite fights before it disappears.
That's an interesting look at motivation from like a third-party perspective is BJ Penn's career. Like, you see him sometimes when he's motivated, he beats the shit out of people. When he's not, he gets beat up. Like,
yeah, but sometimes when he's not, he wins too, though.
Yeah, that's what makes him different, I think, too.
Yeah,
sometimes when he's not, he still makes it happen. That's what makes him really good.
Yeah, he's just that guy. I mean,
that's the kind of guy you're like, fuck, man, he's that guy.
Fucking guy. Damn it.
He's an anomaly in nature.
Yeah, but that's why we love him.
Right.
Because he's an anomaly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No.
What motivates you in terms of... Well, let's go back to competition and then to today. So what motivated you in competition? What motivates you today?
Oh, okay. Competition-wise, that's a weird one for me sometimes because I don't know where it started. Like, I don't know how I ended up, like, loving to compete. It was a weird thing because I initially didn't. I was like, I like to fight people, but I never thought about doing it.
Yeah.
And then, like, everyone I trained with started getting into it. And then me and my buddy, me and my friend that I've talked about that we inadvertently had the same tattoo now, he got really good. He was like a grown man at 15. So he got really good really fast. And I was the only person that could hang with him and train with him on a regular basis. And like, he was really the only person that could hang with me and train with me the way we did. And we just sort of fed off each other. And like, cause he got into it first and he was like, Mike, you're really good at this. You should try it. And I'm like, I like training it. I'll try it. And I tried it and it was fun. And then, you know, I'm here. It was just weird.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. But nowadays, I'll tell you, I'll take you back. Let me take you back to 2013 when I finally figured out what the hell was wrong with my hips. And I was shocked by it. Like, I shouldn't be. It made sense. But all my bones are deformed and shredded labrums and stuff. And I'm sitting there, I'm talking to my surgeon, and he goes, now, I can do this for you, but why? What do you want to get out of it? And my daughter had just turned 4, and she's sitting on my lap, and she's coloring on the paper at the hospital, you know. And I'm like, man, honestly, I just want to be able to sit on the floor and play with my kid, and then get up and be fine. Yeah, and and it was like we hugged. It was cool, man. Like, my surgeon's the man.
Yeah.
But and then that just kind of becomes it. Like, I like being a parent that can jump off stuff and flip around and play with my kid, but also be strong enough and healthy enough to, like, she was sick over the weekend. I basically just held her all night. Woke up, checked on her, did what she needed. Doesn't matter. Like, I can do that.
Yep.
I can not sleep. I can, you know.
You're comfortable with being uncomfortable to help her.
But I'm also physically able to pull it off and not be overly, like, run down the next day. Most people that do that, they're dead for 2 days.
Right.
I'm like, I think I'm going to eat a little more. Maybe I'll have 2 cups of coffee today.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so, I mean, that's a big motivation for me now. But then, you know, if you just go back, you know, in my little kid mind, I just want to be able to, you know, kick ass.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, it's just a fun thing to do. Why not? You know?
Exactly.
Why not? You know, you have a body, you can use it. If you like to have physical confrontation with people, why not be good at it?
Exactly.
It's just fun, man.
That reminds me of a Dan Inosanto quote.
Ooh.
Love is the highest art. In ancient times you trained so hard, not for the sake of killing people, but for the love of your family, for the love of your mother, your father, your children, your tribe, and your body. It is the love of life. That's why we train so hard, so you can preserve life. Which pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I do, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had to restructure some thinking semi-recently and look back and like, why are you doing this? Or like, why do you do what you do, this, that, whatever. And no one had asked me that for a long time, so I didn't really have a current answer for it. Mm-hmm. So then I had to look back and reflect and be like, well, why the fuck am I doing it?
Because you forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely easy to forget and get wrapped up in other stuff, but then it boils down to love. Like, if with my family, I need to do something, and I want to protect them effortlessly. You know what I mean?
But let's define protection, though. Everyone wants to go to the whole mugger thing.
Sure.
But no, protection is like...
I'm talking even more so like emotional protection.
Emotional protection, just a day-to-day strength of you can be the go-to guy in your family.
Be a pillar.
And if someone needs you, you can be there. And you're not going to be tired, you're not going to complain, you're not going to be negatively affected by having to stay up all night to take care of someone or something.
If you can do something unpleasant with a smile on your face, like that's going to make...
But not even see it as unpleasant.
Right, exactly.
It's not unpleasant to you because you're strong enough to handle it. Physically, emotionally, mentally.
Exactly.
And that's where training comes in.
I mean, but not even training, like classic training, but like when you're scrubbing the floors at the gym late at night.
Oh, I love to do that.
That's what I'm talking about. Like that's when you're like scrubbing the floors late at night at the gym. That transfers when you're scrubbing vomit off the floor at 3 a.m. You know what I mean? Like that's sort of it comes back to the ritual of the training and cleaning everything. Then it comes back, and that's what transfers to life. And the fact that you can sit there and find pleasure in both things, I think that's important.
I mean that I remember mopping the floor at the school back in Athens. I used to listen to this tape called Traditional Sounds of the Orient. It was like this old-ass Korean music. Wish I still had that tape. And I loved mopping the floor. Just cleaning the mats. It's just good stuff, man. It was so much fun to clean the school. But it was a part of training.
Exactly.
But I tell you, the idea for this episode, where it came from, was... A couple weeks ago, my daughter gets off the bus, and she'd been trying to make this thing for invention. And she couldn't get this prototype down, and it was bugging her. And she was going to just be like, I'm not going to go. And she gets to the bus, and she's like, we got to do it. Like, I got to get this done. Because it was a cool idea. And so I'm like, all right, you know what materials you need? She's like, yes. I'm like, all right, run to Target, get this stuff. And we're sitting there, like, trying to figure it out. And she's like, I'm like, I can't help you that much, but I'll help you a little bit because you got to build it yourself. And I'm not that parent that's going to make this thing invention and be like, it's hers.
Yeah.
Like, no. And she's like, wait a second. And she goes, we need music. She goes on YouTube. She types in 1 hour Rocky music. And 1 hour of the Rocky theme. Dun 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 dun. And hour straight. And about 5 minutes in, she's like, I got it. And we just start going. And figured it out, glue gun, made the whole cool prototype. And then we're like, I'm in a box. I want to jump rope and punch stuff. All right, let's go jump rope and punch stuff. And we had to jump rope and punch some stuff in the living room. We didn't actually get down here. Yeah. It was really funny. So we're in the living room, shadow boxing each other. And then it was we get all done and we're like, oh, it's time for This Is Us. All right, cool. But I was like, inspiration. What motivates you to get something done with 1 hour Rocky music on YouTube?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you need that extra little bit, that extra little song or whatever to boom.
It made all the difference.
Cup of coffee, whatever, get you through the moment.
But it was just funny. That was very much a me and her kind of moment. Our brains do work very similar, don't they?
Oh yeah.
I didn't even think of that, and I was like, yes, that's the perfect thing.
Yep. Motivation, yeah. Even just personally, sometimes with anxiety, depression, whatever, it's not easy. It's not the easiest thing to find or whatever, but training always gives you that, I think, the most direct path to find it.
That's true. Well, there's the other end of it when you don't need motivation, because that's the other thing I'd gotten to the point in my life where I'm like Emil Zatopek, where he was the greatest distance runner of the 20th century. I think this is true, but the first time the marathon was in the Olympics, he entered it and won, and he'd never run a marathon in his life. He's that guy. And he said, after the many long years of training, motivation is no longer an issue. Training? Oh well. I'm tired? That's beside the point. It's simply that I have to.
Yeah.
And I've operated in that, I don't know if I've told it on air, but my It's Thursday story. Why'd you train today? It's Thursday.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to rewind that, because here I am, 3 years in jiu-jitsu today, actually.
Nice.
Today. Yeah.
Congratulations.
But
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
3rd year chip.
It's cool. I'm happy, and I'm still a white belt. It's a pleasant thing. That's what I wanted. Like, but
Spending time.
yeah, just spend the time you need at like a white belt and blue belt.
Every
and
belt.
Every belt.
Spend time,
Spend
especially when
time
you get
there.
higher up.
Yeah,
Like, you
don't
start
be in a
jumping
rush.
belts there, like dang.
Don't be in a
you spend
rush,
time.
because you will be hurt.
Yeah.
It will hurt your feelings
So
if you get jumped up too fast. But
I was just thinking about that a lot the other day. Like, people were like, "Oh, I want my this, I want my black belt, I want this." I'm like, why would you want that without
like
spending the true and honest time? You gotta pay your dues,
Yeah,
especially
why
with jiu-jitsu. Like,
yeah, why wouldn't you want it to
shit
be
kicked
real?
out of you.
Yeah. That's a hard thing to convey to people, though.
Until they get destroyed, right?
Yeah, until they get destroyed, and then they're like,
Oh.
yeah, wow, that's what that really meant.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. But I've been revisiting motivation for myself, and I've been kind of at that Emil Zatopek realm for so long. I'm like, I need things to be motivated by. I need to go back. Like, I'm not comfortable being motivated by rank. I've never been like with belt rank, but I'm like, how about people? That's why I've like upped my documentary.
Mhm.
I've got like jiu-jitsu is good for documentaries.
Mhm.
Other martial arts not so much. But I found like 3 go-tos in my head, and I got them all on DVD for a reasonable price. And I've just been watching them. And I'm like, all right, that's good motivation. Like, let's follow these guys and emulate that a little bit. And then, other interviews and things with people, and I'm just kind of been revisiting that.
Mhm.
Of, someone set a standard, I'm going to hit that standard.
Yeah. And that's, I remember, like, if I needed motivation, like, specifically for, like, kickboxing training or something like that, I'd watch, like, Ramon Dekkers or someone like that, who was just, like, so...
Freaking super killer.
Murder ball, just destroyer of worlds.
Yeah.
Did I fight like that? No. But that's still...
You can try.
Yeah, you can try, but no. But, like, it's motivating, and it kind of put me in the right mindset to function the way I needed to.
And get you in that headspace. So you can feel it.
Even if you can just channel it just a little bit. It's like a little bit of his ice cold. You're like, all right, I need that.
Yeah.
Especially with striking.
Yeah, with striking, I mean, it just hurts more.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just something about it. There's less room for error. Or, I mean, there's room for error. It's just the consequences are just insane because there's no tap to face kick. No tap to stitches.
No pause before you go, unconscious.
Yeah, really.
Involuntarily and violently.
Yeah. So that it does. It's, I don't know. There's a certain level of guts.
Yeah.
Of just go.
Yeah.
Oh. I know I used to have anxiety attacks before Saturday training, and I would like got to the point where I would plan them. Because I had to drive for 2 hours, and I would have like, it's gonna happen here. Okay. Okay, I'm good. All right. And by the time I got there, I'd just be sipping my coffee and be like, let's go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes too, you just need time to frickin' center up and get in the zone.
Yeah, I mean, you have to find it. And the best people can just drop in. I was listening to the Monday Morning Analyst a little bit this morning, Luke Thomas, and he was talking about Jon Jones, and it wasn't Luke Thomas. I was listening to that, but then I was also listening to the Gracie breakdown of the Bulldog choke, right?
Yes.
And it was Henner and Huron that were talking about Jon Jones possibly always being in kill mode. Like, maybe he just operates from his reptile brain at all times and is just always ready to destroy. It's possible. Because he doesn't seem to have to, like, go there. He's just there.
Yeah, that is true. That's an interesting point.
But it was a very funny point, because you're like, well, kind of, yeah. I would believe that.
Maybe he just is that.
Yeah, that's just what he is all times, yeah.
Which, I mean, makes you wonder, like, some of his other behaviors are kind of like, maybe.
Yeah, it makes sense.
He's just very compulsive and impulsive and just, like, does stuff to do it. Like,
yeah.
like, all right, yeah.
Yeah, something's going on.
Yeah.
His frontal cortex gets flipped off. He's in a constant flow state, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
can't keep the steroids out his mouth, though.
Well, now let's not go with accusations, man. I don't know. Funny thing, I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast the other day with Lance Armstrong from a few years ago, and it was actually very enlightening. because Lance talked about when he and the team decided to go on the EPO, because they didn't have a test for EPO back then. And it was like when he realized that the top 20 finishers in the Tour de France were all on the same shit. He's like, they've never been caught. I don't know why they hate me so much, but like every other guy has either been caught or been like, yeah, I was on some stuff the whole time. What's up? And he's like, all the other winners, like I got the yellow jersey, but there's, the climber and the time that, the sprinter that also got jerseys, and they've all admitted to being on some things. I don't know why. Like,
he gets all the heat.
They're not getting any heat. I'm the one banned from the sport. Which he was kind of saying, he wasn't making excuses, but he was like, the reason we did it is because everyone else did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there was no other way. He goes, I firmly believe that if you take away all the performance enhancers, I'm still going to win.
Yeah.
Because if everyone was on an equal playing field, that's how it works out. But,
they put themselves on the playing field.
But, yeah, so that's a weird thing, man.
Yeah.
It's just like...
Well, particularly in, like, fighting, too.
But in fighting, it's a different story. And, like, Joe Rogan and him were bringing that up. Like, he's like, man, I'm just a guy on a bike who gives a shit. Y'all are hitting each other. Like, that's different.
Yeah.
But in fighting, it's a thing. Like, it's just, where Ronda Rousey was kind of equated it to bring a steel pipe into the cage with you. Which isn't Anderson Silva's shin equivalent to a steel pipe now?
Anymore.
I mean, well, he's got a rod in it.
Yeah.
So, built in.
Doesn't seem to be helping him out too much, though.
Well, hey, man, he's 43 and he's been fighting for 20-some years.
Yeah.
Like, even the greatest, most invincible person is, time is undefeated, dude.
I know. I'm saying, like, he needs to be done probably 10 years ago.
Not 10 years ago. He was just coming into his own in his mid-30s.
4 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago. But here's the thing, too, is, like, I take a guy like Anderson Silva, is you gotta take some Batman advice on this one. Bane. You fight like a younger man, leaving nothing back, right? You gotta fight your age, man.
He's a black belt. He can do his
mind game. You can do what you want. But you can't rely on your reflexes, because that much slower is all it takes.
Day and night, yeah.
So if you're just that much slower, then be smarter. And you could still be a world beater, just slightly more boring, I guess. But
I think a lot of his career was made on that, highlight reel stuff, and then he didn't want to change it, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, if that's what you know, if that's who you are, it's hard to change who you are.
And then, like, look at Damian Maya. He's been the same thing. Treated like tortoise in the hair.
Yeah, well,
sprinting through, he's gonna die.
I don't know if you're not a untakedownable person.
Yeah.
Damian Maya does just fine. Did you see his last fight? I'll have to bump it up on the plus. He just suction cupped him. He just suction cupped him. Just okay. It was classic Maya, and it was one of those wins where when you fight Lyman Good, where he wasn't even mad. He was just like, "Yeah, you're better today. Wow, that sucked." Yeah. Like, you can't even, it was one of those kind of wins. Like, there was no discussion. There was, like, no hard feelings. Just like, yep.
You win, I lose, good deal. Good day.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was nice to see Damian Maya in his element. That's my guy, man. The Maya and Machida are definitely my favorites of all time, I think.
I saw Tyrone Woodley got
smashed.
Yeah, I was surprised by that.
I mean, like 2 10-8 rounds.
Yeah.
That was the breakdown I was watching, the Gracie Breakdown. They were talking about Usman's top control and what he was doing with that and like why it was working. And it was really cool, just smart stuff. But yeah, I'm not surprised that Usman won. I thought it would be closer though if he did. And I didn't watch it, but I guess he just smashed him, like 2 10-8 rounds, and just owned him the whole time.
Took him to down.
And then the whole Ben Askren, Robbie Lawler, that needs to be a rematch.
Yeah, I think that should have been like almost an immediate rematch.
Yeah, well, here's the thing with that.
Askren was like, nope, not interested.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think it was an early stoppage, but it didn't prevent it would have been the same outcome. And so what you have here is a case of safety versus excitement. I think that bulldog choke was pretty in. From what I saw of it, it was on the jaw, but I mean, we can reference Damian Maya versus Rick Story
Yeah.
That was a choke on the jaw, and he made blood squirt out of his face.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the jaw chokes. I mean,
they can they're gonna cut circulation off, and it's still a blood choke, and it's
just with your jawbone instead of his arm.
Yeah, exactly. Your jawbone's squeezing your arteries, and so I think probably I'd like to really see the fight, not just the highlights. If he would have waited 5 more seconds, Lawler would have been blue and dead, and then everyone would have been pissed.
Yeah.
I can't believe you waited so long. It's so horrible.
I feel terrible for UFC refs.
I do too. What a horrible job. You can't be right.
No.
There's never, unless
someone's always going to hate you.
Yeah, someone's always going to hate on you for a reason.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least it's Robbie Lawler though. Talk about a cool human being. Epitome of how you should view this shit. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He was mad for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then
so at himself, probably.
Probably, yeah. He was probably, yeah. And then he was like, whatever. Yeah. I'm just going to go home and play with my kids.
Exactly.
Dude,
Then, again, breaks down his motivation, right?
Yeah, his motivation.
Fight, but he's also walking out of the cage.
I mean, he is clearly a savage, but he is also clearly a really cool family man.
Yes.
And
that's what, at the end of the day, that's what he wants to be.
That's just all he wants to be. He's like, this is what I'm good at, and it provides this life.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it, and that's it.
Some people, I feel have issues with that.
Yeah, right, he's an example of a guy who is just, I don't know, I feel like he's egoless. I really do. Yeah. Everyone loves him. No one says anything bad about Robbie Lawler. And if they do, they're an ass, and everyone hates them.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
Yeah, he's just one of those cool dudes.
I remember him talk about just a career resurgence.
Wow.
I loved his. That's why I liked him as champ. I liked him now. I like him now because he's came back.
Because he came back from. Yeah. I mean, you probably thought he was done, and then he's like, nope.
I remember when he came back, and I was like, dang, he's still around. All right, and then he started.
Yeah,
the shit out of people.
I remember that. And he started stomping everybody, and you're like, "Wow, he's really, really back."
Yeah,
okay.
That was inspiring.
Yeah, very much so.
On top of motivating.
Mm-hmm.
But he was, his comeback after that was pretty remarkable.
Yeah,
it still is.
And he's still remarkable. Yeah. I mean, you see how he just hoisted Askren up in the air and threw him on his head? Nope, ha!
Not having this. Welcome to the Thunderdome.
You in the big leagues now, son.
Yeah.
Smash your face. But even that he was emotionless about.
Right.
I was watching the post-fight presser, and he's like, I was hitting him in the head. I mean, I don't know if I had him finished. I was just hitting him in the head.
Yeah. See, that's, I think, a good example of either someone who just has such a finely tuned reptilian brain, and he just turns it off and views it almost like third person, and that's that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's very much it's any sort of negative emotion of he doesn't want to hurt people or kill people. It's his job, and these are the parameters of his work.
And he knows when to stop.
And he knows exactly when to stop, and this is what we signed up for. This is how you punch the clock around here.
Yep.
I'm going to do the best of my ability, and then I'm going to go home.
Yep. And depending on how you look at the result, he fucking smashed him and dropped him. And
no one's ever smashed Askren like that. Not since the Jay Huron fight.
Yeah, and that was
a long time ago.
All of
that was the first minute. All of
that.
Yeah.
So
that's the worst ass whooping Askren's ever had.
Yeah. So stretch that time out 6 more minutes.
Yeah, give us a couple rounds of that, and we'll see who's. My money's on Lawler all day. Ben Askren's the man, but
I am excited to see how Askren turns out in the UFC because I think the way he grapples and stuff. I don't like his attitude, but the way he grapples and stuff.
His attitude's grown on me to a certain degree.
I understand his attitude, but he could dial down some of the shitty stuff more.
Yeah, he needs to dial down the shittiness. Yeah. I enjoy the honesty.
Yeah, that's fine. That
I dig that.
Me. But just going after people, and I don't think that brings anything to the sport.
Well, that's the sport right now.
I know.
That
that's
sucks.
What pisses me off about the sport. That's why I'm boycotting the sport.
Yeah, it's no good, man. Stop acting like that. Be like Robbie Lawler. Show up and fight and be awesome, and people will watch.
Yeah.
You don't need to be on the Instagrams and the things and yelling at people. No.
Marcelo Garcia, he's coming back from an elbow surgery, and
is he?
Yeah, everyone's talking about how he wants to come back to compete.
Because I didn't know he's come back from elbow surgery, but that's the rumor that Marcelo is going to fight again.
And his stipulation for all of it is no trash talk.
Yes,
that's all he said.
Okay, yeah. So talking about inspiration and motivation kind of thing is one of the 3 DVDs I picked up was Legacy, Renzo Gracie. And they have one of the bits that's documented is the ADCC where Marcelo blew through everybody, and Renzo was one of the people he beat. And then he went to the Absolute Division and made it to the freaking finals. And Marcelo's probably smaller than me. Is he lighter than I am?
I don't know about
right
that.
around the same.
He was light, but yeah.
I mean, I'm like 153, and he's around, like, he's probably shorter than I am and around that. And how he was just smashing these heavyweights. And that's why I love Marcelo Garcia. It's just technique over everything. It's just brains over whatever you got to throw at me. I'm going to be calm, and I'm just going to do it absolutely right. And that motivates the hell out of me.
Yeah, well, that and just like his trust in his abilities.
He trusts his abilities, yeah.
And you're like, oh, he trusts that. Like, I can trust that, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, he knows what works and knows how he gets it to work. But then he also doesn't say anything bad about anyone. I love the no trash talk. He doesn't have to.
Always smiling. Always,
Because why not?
It seems like everyone nowadays wants to like try and take a stance on something, like prove something to someone. Like, why can't you just be nice to people? Like,
yeah, when I'm just.
Take a stance on kindness.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
You can be kind and rip limbs off at the same time. It's fine.
Why not?
There's no difference.
I think jiu-jitsu is... I don't think MMA has that right now.
It did, but it doesn't now. Certain people have that in MMA. As a whole, it used to.
Right. It
used to be a very respectful, cool thing. And then just kind of fell apart. I mean, everyone wants to blame Conor McGregor for that, but it was happening before Conor.
That was look back at the first season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, I mean, that was
insane.
It was nuts. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of that didn't bleed into the sport that wasn't all the sport, but it sort of eventually became that.
The reason was because it took the reality show template of like find personalities, and then then everyone's like, oh, I have to be a personality to succeed. So then to turn some people into dicks.
And then eventually you get to Conor McGregor, who was a reaction to that. It was like, I'm really good, but if I say a lot of shit,
great.
then I can make a lot of money being really good. Okay. You can't hate on him for that, man.
No.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that everyone like hates on him for. I'm like,
no way.
When he started fighting, he was on Social Security.
He was literally on welfare.
Yeah. And
had nothing. And
he was a good fighter, he was gritty, this, that, whatever, but on top of it he had like a remarkable personality to sell.
Yeah, he was good on the mic, man. He found he could just say some cool shit and people would listen and either hate him or love him, and then he took the Floyd Mayweather approach and then made the Mayweather fight actually happen.
He did things that most people said wouldn't. And like right now, even now, he's still hated for it. But like down the line, 10, 20 years from now, they're like, oh shit.
Nah, man, I think once that all shakes out and you find out who he really is as a person, I think he's probably a better human being than anyone knows.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, his family's set.
Yeah.
And he's very subtly made that known of, like, his parents.
They're cool.
They're done. They're fine. His, wife and kid, boom, good. Like, he's got extended family members that he is very quietly taking care of.
That's the thing. I think he has his persona and his personality and puts it out there, but he also, like, compartmentalizes and protects his who he really is.
And I mean, that's a cool motivational thing too, is just separate.
Exactly. But again, it breaks down to what he's doing. Love.
Yeah, love. Yeah.
None of it's like, it all breaks down to it. People want to make money so they can have enough things to take care of their family or this, that. Like, people get wrapped up in the wrong shit, working too much, this, that, whatever, but it's all for love. It's all through love.
Yeah, it's all for love at some point. Yeah. And it's just, how do you steer it? And I mean, I guess we have a podcast.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just a project of love.
Yeah. I mean,
build it from that.
And I mean, that's how the podcast came about, is we just sit around and drink coffee, and you were like, man, we should tape this. I was like, all right, let's tape this.
But I mean, you look at that, you're like, it's like the Thursday thing. It's like, why are you doing that? Or why is this? Like, because it's Thursday.
Because it's Thursday.
That's what I do.
That's what we do, yeah. It's cool. That's what we do.
It's not necessarily, might not be the most normal thing or whatever, but...
What is normal, though, bro? What is normal?
Yeah. I don't want to just jump in the herd and bitch with everyone else. I want to bitch on a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. It's constructive bitching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and to that point, like, who else you going to talk to? who else is going to understand, man?
Exactly.
I got nobody else that's going to understand
Right.
anything we talk about. So
There's just... That's how I, anymore, like, I make friends just by, like, identifying, like, oh, they've experienced some of the same shit. Some
Yeah.
weird cues and struggles through conversation, but yeah.
or even, we all tend to go to the negative struggle bit. Like, this bad shit happened to me and bad shit happened to you. But all the positive stuff's in common, too. Like, off air, when we were talking about how the only way I know how to get anything done is through martial arts. But not just through training, but through the community of the school. And there's a lot of things we're trying to do behind the scenes that are from just asking people we train with. That was the inspiration for the face kick friends.
Yeah.
So it motivated that. And then other things we're trying to do was people we know. Can you help me out with this? Can you show me this? And
that was like a very organic introduction to like networking and like what it was. Because like you hear the word, everyone does.
That's what networking is.
Yeah, but I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, what the fuck are you like? Why? Like or like, and it was just like an overcomplication for me. And then in my head, I'm like, oh, I just like ask someone like what they're doing and like if they can help me, like okay.
Yeah, because everyone wants to do like the business networking thing where you give people your card and then hope they call you.
Yeah, it's like
whereas
how about like you're my friend.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about this. You see that I'm passionate about this. Help me out. Maybe I'll hook you up with something. Help me out, right? Like,
yeah, and even just, not hooking people up with anything. It's just, you roll, it goes back to the whole rolling with people thing. If you train together, there's a connection there that you're not going to get from a cocktail luncheon. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And day in, day out, we're there sweating with each other. And then you have this friend from jiu-jitsu, from training, that you otherwise would not know.
That has a professional background.
That has this whole crazy professional background of skills you don't have but could use. Mm-hmm. You're like, can you help me out? And they're like, of course I can help you out. And then someone comes to you and, they need help and you have a skill set that can help them. And you're like, yeah, I got you.
Yep.
But the connection is stronger because you train together.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that again, like I have just like that wall in my way. I'm like, why would I ask them that, this, that, whatever. But if we've trained together or rolled together,
the wall's
what's up, dude?
Gone.
Like,
yeah.
Can you do this? Can we help this out? Like, let's get something rolling. So
yeah.
Just like the way my personality is, like jiu-jitsu helped me overcome that aspect to get shit done.
Yeah, me too.
Like it starts with, hey, you want to roll?
Yeah.
Slap, bump, roll, sweat in each other's mouths.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you do for work? Oh, I do this. Months later, like, oh, I got this. Can you help me with that? And then nice little friendship, bond, whatever.
Starts rolling, man. Yeah,
Right.
it's good.
Exactly. That's how freaking podcast was born.
And that's how the podcast came to be.
Exactly.
Oh.
The Arnold Classic was last week.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was great. I felt wonderful.
Yeah,
Body felt good.
I saw one of your matches.
Yeah.
I was like, who's that guy with all the hair?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Mike Chaney.
I had five fights and
nice.
Subbed 4 people.
Very cool.
And only lost in the finals by like 2 or 3 points, I think.
Oh.
And that's, I know, like,
dishonorable.
0 excuses, 0 anything. He beat me, but there were 5-minute rounds. If I had like 2-3 more minutes, I could pull it off.
Nah.
But you never know.
You got to work within your time limit.
Yeah, and I didn't. So
how'd you feel?
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing hurt, obviously.
Yeah.
Nothing was in pain. My breasts were fucked up, but didn't really bother me.
Oh, good.
But 2 inside heel hooks, 2 arm bars. So
nice.
Those were the highlights. My goal was to simply go in. I just wanted as many subs as possible.
That's a good goal.
So I got as many subs as possible.
I mean, yeah, literally. 4 out of 5 ain't bad.
I was hunting for subs on the 5th one. That was that. So,
that's cool.
But yeah, it's super fun. And it was under the grappling industry stuff. So, and I like their rule sets.
Their rule set, their way they run.
Yeah,
they're very good.
They're very
good.
Really
on
They have
point.
another tournament like April 13th in Chicago. I want to try and go to.
Oh yeah,
like
I heard a lot of people talking about the Chicago one. Yeah,
it's like the OSO or whatever.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh. And I don't know. Speaking of motivation, I have I have not been enough your strength conditioning coach lately, and I feel bad about that.
I've been doing the same. I've been doing mixing and matching what we've been doing.
Yeah, it's working for you.
Yeah, I haven't stopped. Like it's been compounding. Like,
Okay.
Since day one to now, like I mix in different things, but recently I've just like I started doing like posture stuff, but like the ball stuff we did last time.
Oh yeah, have you integrated any of that?
Yep, all of that.
I did that this morning.
Pipes, I mean all of that stuff. All the murder bike stuff, like that's sprinkled into my weekly routine.
Yeah, that's my day. That was my day this morning.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah. Like that's sprinkled in throughout everything. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't need weeks and weeks and weeks of programming from you, so that's all good.
Very good. The foundation has been laid.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. What did I see? I saw. I tried to do a flying triangle. That was another thing.
Awesome.
The finals match.
Nogi?
Yeah.
Yo.
In the finals, I was like, I had 30 seconds left. I was down, so I was like, "Fuck it,
Just go for it."
There's a hilarious picture of me flying through the air, and my hair's like kicking out.
Yeah.
And the next one is me falling flat on my ass. So, but yeah, it was funny.
That's cool. I want to see that photo.
Yeah,
Yeah, check that out.
It was a good day. Team did great. Like, there was a few people like first times, a couple people second times. Like, everyone's looking really well. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Overall,
Yeah.
positive.
Very happy. Yeah, it was a great day.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with the Arnold.
Yeah, you can. Grappling Industries is the shiny little well-organized bit of that whole thing, dude.
Yeah. The
Donut.
Martial Arts Festival.
Yeah. Oh.
It's just.
I mean.
I don't know how it is now because Grappling Industries is separate, and then I don't touch any of it now. But
Well, that was the smartest thing the Arnold ever did as far as the, at least for the grappling chunk of it, is when they started. When that started, it was always someone else running it.
Mhm.
It was a separate thing, and it was someone. This is the third or fourth organization that I can remember running the grappling thing, but it's always the biggest tournament. It's always the on-time tournament, and I mean, I'm talking 10 years in a row of going to the Arnold. And I would go watch my friends grapple, and it was always awesome. And then if I had any friends in anything else, they were just pissed.
yeah.
And like, I took 2 teams there, probably 7 or 8 years apart in Taekwondo, and both times were horrible.
Yeah.
They sucked. And so I don't know if that's gotten better, but yeah, as a whole, it's too many people in one room. For my taste. But grappling has always sucked up a huge chunk of that room, and it made it better for them, which I always enjoyed.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. They put it kind of like in the far back corner of the massive concourse or whatever. Like last year it was in like one of the separate halls, and then this year it was on like the main floor again.
Oh, back on the main floor?
Yeah, but it was tucked back in the corner, so like they had their own space and stuff, and like they put warm-up mats and stuff. It was actually pretty nice.
Oh, that's cool, because in the past they'd stuck it right up front where you walk into Hall C.
Right.
And it still worked well, but it sucked. Like it wasn't any place to stand and watch or warm up or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough.
But if they tuck it away, that's even better.
Yeah, it was dope. But yeah. I coordinated the Muay Thai event one year, and that was just mayhem.
It's a nightmare to
Sheer
coordinate a
mayhem.
tournament, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that
I
before.
don't think I'll do that ever again.
It's
Even
painful.
if they gave me a ton of cash up front, maybe then. But
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do to run a tournament, man.
oh, dude, it was rough.
It's difficult, and there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was 18 or 19 at the time, so like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah, you just figured it out on the fly.
Yeah, and I was like, well, we're doing it, but everyone's matched up, everyone fought, so
Close enough.
can't complain that much, I guess. Never saw a dime.
Of course
not.
not.
Supposed to.
Of course not.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, it was internship. You were the free intern.
Not by choice.
Oh, or was it? Or was it by choice?
I don't know.
don't
At that
know.
point, it was a rough one.
Yeah.
It was like on the downward slope.
On the downslide.
So, I
Yeah.
don't know.
That's another episode.
Yeah.
But
For a rainy day.
yeah. But wrapping up, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we've kind of hit lots of different aspects of being motivated. But I say for you, and say taking in your awesome silver medal performance, how do you move forward off of that?
So I was testing a lot of stuff leading up to this one, I guess. Just kind of like how I was organizing things and structuring things in my life just to see like how it would work. And it worked out really well. So kind of make that a benchmark and move on, add on, experiment from there. That's always been the case for me, like post-tournament. So like I'm always motivated after tournaments. Like I don't have issues like I don't like to take. Like sometimes if I'm injured, I'll take time off after. But like if not, I'm back in there the next day trying to like work through some stuff. Like I find myself, even if I win, lose, whatever, like I'm gonna go train the next day again. Like that's gonna be there no matter what. But the competition obviously is like a good motivator too. Having to fight another human being.
Nothing like fighting someone who wants to, take your head off.
But then there's like the after that, like what about after? Do you feel up? Do you feel down? This, that, whatever? Do you keep going? Like do you stop? Do you fall off the earth? Like no, just go back and keep training. Yeah.
But I mean, I guess as a reflection of all the different changes you've been making over, say, the past year, of trying to lay things in place and move in a good direction and lay down sort of a pattern of daily and weekly habits to get better. I think it seems like it's paying off.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And just like knowing that and just starting to be able to organize it and execute, that discipline is what it isn't. It doesn't seem like discipline to me.
Oh, nice.
But that's what's giving me my freedom. And that's what I'm like, okay, I need this. I need more of that. So then it makes me fuel.
Well, security in the outcome frees your brain up, man. Yeah, quite a bit. If you know that everything you do leads up to I'm going to show up on this day. Gold medals are not guaranteed, but good performances can be.
Yeah.
And so if like everything I'm doing actually does lead to a quality day, then it takes a ton of stress off of it.
Absolutely.
That pressure is sort of alleviated in a lot of ways.
And being busy and like having other outlets and different things like podcasts or just different aspects that are still in the realm. It keeps me in the umbrella so that like I'm not like spending time away from it, so it like triggers that anxiety response. I'm not like having like fear, FOMO or anything. Like I'm still in it and doing something that can be constructive for it. So, but at the same time, it's a different thing.
It's a different angle. So it doesn't take away the burnout aspect.
Yeah, exactly. And that's been something too, because like some days you got to teach a lot, and like some days you have to train a lot, this, that, whatever. So balancing that too has been, and learning how to do that and just like making that fun. So,
which is you started to really hit on. The balance is getting good.
Yeah, now it's great and big stuff coming. So.
Yeah. Keep your eyes peeled, everyone.
Coffee regular coming your way.
It's going to be so tasty.
Yeah.
But
all right, y'all.
It's the end.
I think that's up for this week.
All right.
Stay motivated.
Yeah, stay motivated. Keep your coffee regular, folks.
Always. Peace in.